Good evening, ladies, as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena Goblins versus Gnomes. Shaman is the last class that I needed to play with the release of Goblins versus Gnomes, and my average going into this run is 6.8 out of the other 8 runs I've played so far. So back to my glory days before Nexramas came and ruined everything. Well, it didn't ruin everything. It first made it all better, then it made it all worse. So we'll see if that happens again with Goblins versus Gnomes. This is a pretty mediocre Shaman deck, but I did just take a mediocre Rogue deck to 6. And before that, I had taken a mediocre Warlock deck to 5 and a mediocre Druid deck to 5. So I've been doing well with mediocre decks. Let's see what happens here. Up against a Hunter, Vinzor the Hunter. And okay. So finally we get the dream here, turn 1 Clockwork Gnome. The question is, do you keep this Farseer or not? And this Earthshock for that matter. I mean, this Earthshock might not be able to kill anything early on. If he plays an Urgent Squire or a Loot Hoarder, I'll feel like a genius, but otherwise this is just not good. I'm actually going to mulligan this. And I'll keep the Farseer. Make sure we got that turn 3 play. I get a Loot Hoarder. Well, I would happily trade a Loot Hoarder. I'll happily trade an Earthshock for a Loot Hoarder, so I'm pretty glad with that mulligan choice. Got the Clockwork Gnome. I'm finding that these mechanical parts the spare parts are actually quite good. Like, yeah, it's not a huge effect, like, okay, +1 attack or +1 defend, but pretty much no matter what you get, you can always find some use for it, and it can have game-changing effects. Like, I've lost games to those mechanical parts. Like, I've lost, I think, more than one game now to freezing coolant. I've used the Rusty Horn to give something taunt in a critical situation, the +1 attack or health. I mean, they're just great. I like it a lot. So let's see what he's got. Is he going to play Unleash the Hounds to clear my board? That would be kind of hilarious. No, an Animal Companion, please. Actually, the pig would be alright here. The pig would be fine. It looked, however, as though he... I don't know, actually. I don't actually know why he attacked my face. I have no clue why he attacked my face. That would seem to have been a mistake. So the Leok was good for me, lets him kill one of my creatures, but he really shouldn't have risked it. Well, anyway, do I get a card or a mechanical part? I'm doing good on draws here. I've got things to do. I don't need more cards. We're going to take the mechanical part, therefore. If I get the Swippity Swap one... that's not the right one. If I had gotten the thing to switch a minion's attack and health, I could have actually killed off the Leok. But here, this doesn't actually work very well, so I will waste my Battle Cry and hit him in the face. Don't see any reason to damage this. Like I've said many times, I'm a really big disbeliever, I guess you could say, in damaging minions if you're not going to kill them, except under particular circumstances. This being not one of them. Alright, is he going to get a Death Rattle? He is thankfully not going to. He can now kill my Leok. And then I can kill my Loot Hoarder with his Leok, and then I can kill off those Leok. So this is, you know, quite the back and forth situation here. Stormforged Axe is definitely worth playing. So I will kill off Mr. Leok. Stormforged Axe. And here's the thing. So do you Stormforged Axe the thing that hits harder, or the thing that hits less hard? They both have 2 health. This thing can kill my spider. Okay, so it's because that thing can kill my spider, I will go ahead and hit that guy. Alright, so the Undertaker now trades with my Farseer. I'm overloaded, so no Azure Drake for me, but I can play the Shredder, which is always feels good to play. Alright, is he gonna get another Leok? He is actually, so he can kill my spider because of this. Does he want to though? Knowing that I can then hit his Leok and stuff. Well, you should kill my spider or my Farseer. Don't hit my face here, Vinzor. That would be a mistake. Don't hit your face either. That's definitely wrong. I don't think this person knows what he's doing very much. Of course, that was evident from the fact that he had a chance to use a Shield Bearer to kill a minion and then didn't take it up. So yeah, he decides to kill that, which is a fair choice. That allows me to, or that prevents me from killing the Leok. We'll just keep it simple, keep it safe, play the Shredder, that. I don't see a reason to give up my axe here. I don't have any other weapons, so we'll just call it a day. And again, still, it's an even game, although I'm a little bit ahead card-wise. He's got, as you can see, 5 to my 6, soon to be 7. He's going to multi-shot to clear my board, but I get stuff back for everything, so it wasn't the most impressive multi-shot. Pint-sized Summoner, not the most impressive. It will now die to this pig. And he doesn't kill a spider, which I think is a mistake. You should have definitely killed a spider there. Reincarnate doesn't do much for me. We'll draw a card. And sure, with the help of Earthshock, even though the silence is wasted here, we will just kill off the Leok. So thanks to the spell damage, Earthshock did 2 damage, and I get to keep my spiders. Okay, now I'm very happy with this game. This is really, really good. He's only got 3 cards. I can only see one way for him to win, which is for every single one of these cards to be something absolutely gigantic. And that doesn't seem to be the case. Alright, the armor plating is not helpful here, unfortunately. So we'll put my highest health minions on the edges to avoid explosive shots. And think, I could kill this with my weapon and 2 spiders. Taking 5 damage though seems bad. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and hit him in the face. And since I've got the mana, we'll play the armor plating on my Frost Elemental there. So that in case he silences the Priestess, she won't kill the Frost Elemental. Silencing, of course, a frozen minion unfreezes it. Flare doesn't do anything. So he just cycles it for 2 mana. Note that Flare was nerfed. It's one of the cards that was nerfed. Oh man, did he just get... Is this a Glide Bazooka? Right. Never been as good for me as it was for other people, that's for sure. Anyway, this is now 2 mana up from 1, so it's not as good as it used to be for just cycling action. Although, because it got a bonus, it'll actually now kill my armor-plated Frost Elemental, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so we got this sheep situation, which is less than ideal, shall we say. But I think it actually works out in my favor, because what I can do here is I can throw my spiders, who would die anyway, into the Priestess. Oh, destroy a minion. You can actually use this on your opponent's minions to get rid of buffs. I forgot about that. Anyway, it doesn't really... Wow, you can do some weird things, though. You can, like, destroy an opponent's sheep, have it blow up, and then kill it again. Not that I want to do that right now. Anyway, now we're going to go ahead and finish off this sheep. So my stuff gets damaged, but I don't care much about it. We will play Ascension and a Mana Tide. And hit him in the face for ye old 9 damage, which is not to be scoffed at. I cycle this for a card, and it's going to be difficult for him to kill it because he has to get past Taunt, and then this is only 2 damage anyway. He's only got 2 cards left. I mean, I think this game's over. We just totally took... Oh, and is that an explosive shot? Oh, man, if that was an explosive shot, that would have actually been good. That would have killed this engine and my Mana Tide. But he still would have then had this versus all my rest of my cards. Okay, so he just damages himself a whole bunch. Well played. And that's that. Okay, mediocre deck performed very well. I did have a perfect curve, and my opponent didn't have a slow start. He had a Shield Bearer, and then he had the Leok, and then another Leok. He just didn't make good trades, and he had some questionable cards there, like, of course, the infamous Stone Tusk Boar. I don't know, I just played lots of good cards, and I had removal when I needed it. He had Multi-Shot and a Glide Bazooka for removal, and in that particular game, both of those particular cards just were underwhelming. Alright, feeling pretty good. I would be happy if in this video I won 2 more games to finish off that daily quest. That's all I care about, is just getting that daily quest now. Because I'm at 3, I need to make sure I clear some of them out. Wow, the original, this is quite the ostentatious name. Earthshock, I don't know what a Druid would play early on that would make me want to Earthshock it. Unlike in the last game, though, I don't have a 1-drop, and I'm not guaranteed to get one. Do I just keep this 2, 3, 4 curve, knowing that these are all... Well, this is crappy, but this is a very solid 4-drop. In general, you don't want to keep... You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just do this. Just try to get into the 2-drop, or at least a 1-drop. It seems to be like what my mistake always is that I don't mulligan enough, so let's just try mulliganing more. And I do get, at the tail end of my mulligan, this Puddle Stomper. We're going to go ahead and play the Goblin Stalker. That's perhaps my favorite card in the game, too. Coin out on turn 1, because it's just so difficult to kill. I mean, mages have that flame cannon that they could use to kill it. A mad bomber could get super lucky and kill it, but generally it's just so good because the opponent can't deal with it. So that's fine. We'll now play the Puddle Stomper. Trade that. And Imp Master, not my favorite card, but at least it arrives on time. I was going to have nothing to do on turn 3, turn 4, or turn 5, which is a bit scary. This is why I prefer 5s and 6s over 6s and 7s. For the billionth time, I'll say that. Okay, he doesn't have anything good. He just has another 2-drop on turn... what's his face? Turn 3, which is good. We'll play the Imp Master and trade again. The Imp Master does die to swipe, but if he uses a swipe to kill an Imp Master, that's a really, really amazing removal spell to kill a 3-mana minion is definitely a victory for me. The main problem is that I don't have anything to play right now, so whatever advantage I have by playing the Imp Master and by him having nothing on turn 4, I lose from the fact that I just don't get to do anything now. Loot Hoarder, well, it's better than nothing. At least I make a totem, at least my hero ability lets me put something on the board. It's a 1/1, which will die to swipe. But again, if he uses swipe on turn 5, it'll clear everything, but at least I'll get a card, and that'll double my chances of having something to play on turn 5. God, these 6 drops are just killing me. Alright, no swipe, just a Druid of the Claw. Which I can't actually kill here. Well, I could do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which isn't even that bad. Alright, we'll do it. Let's actually just first, though, before we go crazy here, let's get the card. Always get cards first. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, you always draw cards first. What a difference that makes, huh? So I play the Dark Iron Dwarf. Do that. And then I can use Earthshock or this Imp. I'm going to use this Imp. I think that's what Imps are for. Earthshock can have much more serious uses. And okay, mission achieved. Thanks to Loot Hoarder. Epic card draw there. Now we made it to turn 6, and we have things to play. I'm going to Starfire the Dwarf. This is great. Because if he had swipe, he could have cleared my board. Since he didn't, I get to keep the Master and the Imp. And that's really, really good, I think, because he needs board presence more than he needs card advantage. Swipe would have given him more board presence, but the Starfire gave him a card, and that was less valuable. Anyway, he's got 7 cards. Discounting these 1/1s, I have 6, soon to be 7, and one of them's a Sunwalker. So I'd say he's on the back foot right here, pretty significantly. My main problem is if he plays, let's say, an Ironbark, I can't do anything about it. Except pound it for the Sunwalker and cobble up 4 damage somewhere else. Oh god, this thing. So this is a card that I don't think is particularly great in the, what's his face? In Ranked, because there's other good 6 drops, but in Arena he's really good. I will probably Earthshock that, but why rush things, right? Let's freeze it in place. That's what you do with Frost Elemental. And we're going to hit him in the face a whole bunch. If he silences it and that enables him to attack with it, I'd say that's a pretty big loss because he'd obviously much rather silence my Sunwalker. That would in fact be a pretty staggering victory for me. He hasn't played swipe this whole time, so I'm going to play this guy out. Even if he does have swipe, I again really enjoy those spare parts, so I'd happily take it. Let's see if he's got anything here. Blingtron 3000, equip a random weapon for each player. He got Gladiator's Longbow, which is pretty solid. And I got Choose of a Champion, which is also pretty solid. So, yeah, that's even Stevens, I guess. Alright, he will just whack me to pop off the Divine Shield. This is probably the best card he could have gotten, because it let him do that without taking any damage. Alright, let's take a look at the situation here. Unfortunately, these spells do not deal damage to the hero directly, but I do have here 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 9 is 18 damage. It's at 20 health. Gosh. 20 health. Yeah, I mean, it's always risky to just not trade your opponent's stuff away. Let me count this again. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 5 is 14, plus 4 is 18. So I'm 2 damage shy of killing him, and I have no damage in hand. I could just go for it, knowing that I can get the damage later, and I'm threatening damage with the True Sliver, and I have 2 silences. So I think I'm going to do that. I know I've lost more than 1 game recently for going on the opponent's face too much, but here I think is a special set of circumstances. We have lethal being threatened in hand. I have 2 silences to get past taunts, and on top of that, let's just fill up the board with a totem. On top of that, I'm at full health. It'll be a while before he can get me down, and I have plenty of time to draw my Fire Elemental and Lightning Bolt, and he still has to kill this weapon. I mean, it just seems good. So he's going to use his Gladiator's Longbow. Is this a golden? No, it gives you a golden... Is it coincidence that we both got golden weapons? I guess he is Blingtron. So it makes sense that he would give us golden weapons. He plays Force of Nature. Is he going to Savage Roar me now? Savage Roar would have dealt, what's his face, 12 damage, 12, 22. He could have dealt 28 damage to me there if he had Savage Roar, so that's a little scary. Anyway, he didn't have it, and it wouldn't have killed me, so I think I'm okay. But yeah, 2, 4, 6. Plus 10 is 16. Plus 12 from Savage Roar. Would have been 28 damage. So that was kind of scary, actually. But anyway, it doesn't matter because he didn't have any taunt. So that's that. I got Give a Friendly Minion Stealth. This actually might be the worst one. Alright, I could play some spells to, you know, finish my daily quest or something, but I don't remember what I need to do, so we'll just kill him. I guess I took a little bit of a risk there, going for his face. Knowing that now that he had the Force of Nature, if he'd had Savage Roar, he could have come that close to killing me. But it wouldn't have killed me, so I stand by my decision, I suppose. Alright. Okay, sweet. Wait. What is my other daily quest? I've already got 3 wins. No, I got 2 wins. I just finished the other one. Okay, great. So, 1 more win in this video. If I have to lose the next 3 games, hopefully at the beginning of the next run I will win a game. Anyway, if I can make that quest, I've got this stupid Rogue Warrior quest sitting around that I'll have to do at some point. Alright, good times. So, yeah, like I said, I seem to be on track. I had 2 decks that I thought were good, and then I did badly, and then now that I said the deck was bad, it's doing well. That happened with the Rogue deck, made it up to 6, which is solid. And this Shaman deck up to 3-0, which means nothing. This could still, you know, just end at 3 wins, but feeling better than I did before. Meow! I like this name a lot. Alright, this is not an inspiring opening hand. I will actually mulligan that Lightning Bolt, because I hate using these early. It slows down your development. I'd rather just get a minion. And I do. I get the Clockwork Gnome, so who can die to the Shapeshift. But there's a couple of good things here. One good thing is that he, I'm the first player, so if he does kill this with Shapeshift, he'd have to use his coin, and I'd get a spare part. So I'd technically go up a card. If he uses the coin to Shapeshift, that means that if he doesn't play anything on the next turn, he would actually, the Goblin Sapper would actually get this bonus, which is kind of comical. Alright, anyway, nothing on turn 2, which is unfortunate. I would have loved a Gilbin Stalker here, but being a Shaman and getting a thing on the board at least is decent. Now I can Shapeshift to kill the Gnome. And next turn I'm going to get a very comical 6-4 for 3 mana. It's going to be difficult for him to get rid of, because... what is this? Return a minion. Ah, boo. Because he's got 7 cards, he's going to draw his 8th. Even if he uses the coin and plays a minion, he's going to only be down to 6. So, actually, when someone has a slow start, the Goblin Sapper is just what the doctor ordered, pretty much. Dark Iron Dwarf is nice to have. Haven't really seen any of these Stormpike Commandos. I don't know, I haven't seen the Stormpike Commando. I've only got one in the deck, but I haven't really seen him very much. See if he's got removal for this. There's a couple ways a Druid could kill this. I mean, 4 health isn't that much, but it's more than 3, which is what most 3-drops have. So it's, I'd say, an untrivial minion to kill. First time I've ever seen this actually work. Just gotta use the coin here to finish off my 1-1, I think, so you can kill off this 1-1, stop the Loot Hoarder from dying to that. Explosive Sheep. Right, interesting choice. He actually played 2 cards, right, so that's how he avoided the Goblin Sapper there. But, I don't know, I think he kind of went from one problem to another. I think what I'll do simply is just pop this sheep. Yeah, I'll pop the sheep here. Pop. Let him get his card up the Loot Hoarder, which beefs the Sapper back up. And in fact, instead of playing the Dark Iron Dwarf, I'm actually going to take this little precaution here. We're going to heal that Sapper from the sheep's damage and hit him for 6. This is one of the weirdest, most random things ever. This Goblin Sapper has just been incredible. Now, if he had just played on turn 1 and turn 2, he would have been fine. But because he's the second player and had that coin, and because he had a slow start, this thing actually ended up being really good. The sheep totally failed. Unless he has an Innervate here, I'm actually going to have a 6-4 still. Alright, we got to think carefully what to do here. I think I could kill this and leave this at 1 health. Then I could time rewind my Farseer and heal this back up. Another option is to play the Stormpike Commando and throw the Farseer in at that. I think and the advantage of this is that would give me the spend the most of my mana. However, a 4-2 is worse than a 4-4. I'm actually going to go for board presence here, even though it means spending less mana. I'm going to kill his Troggity Boggity that way, hit him for 6 again, and then we're going to just pass the turn. Time Rewinder might be used to redo the Dwarf, but I doubt it. He's got 7 cards. If he plays 1 minion, he's still going to be facing a 6-4. He needs to play 2 things here, ideally. Oh man, I feel really bad for Meow, because this must be just the most obnoxious thing. If I were in his shoes, I would be bitching like, well, there's nothing I could have done. There's just nothing I could have done that game. Absolutely jack squat diddly. It's just bullshit. Alright, he plays a Druid of the Claw as a 4-4, which is very smart, so finally killed the Sapper. But the problem is, while that looked good, killing my 6-4, it was really a 5-mana minion, like one of the best 5-mana minions in the game, killing a 3-mana minion, so it's not that great. Okay, I think he just made a mistake here. Actually, he made a really big mistake, just like a Boris-level gigantic mistake here. He ended up going down below 4 cards. He should have played the Innervate and the Robocub first. This would have actually dropped my Sapper from a 6-4 to a 2-4. He could have then killed it and then kept his 4-2 around, which, you know, is kind of a big deal here. Yeah, it's a big deal. I would have then probably used the Stormpike Commando to shoot it and then attacked into the Cub with my Dwarf. But because he didn't do that, I can play my Azure Drake with the Helpless Spell Damage Earthshock this thing. And then I hit him in the face, and now he's in trouble. So I'm just going to say sorry. I hope he understands I'm not being rude. I really am sorry. That was just ridiculous. He did mess up, though. He could have had a 4-4 on the table right there at that moment. And I couldn't have killed both of his minions without damaging my Dwarf down to 1 health. So yeah, a little bit of a mistake there. I mean, that's a kind of mistake I could easily see myself making. The cards are still new. It's easy to forget, you know, the little things sometimes. Wow, Goblin Sapper, MVP. But again, if he had been the first player, or if he had just had a faster start, that would have just been a 2-4 for 3, and it wouldn't have made any difference at all. King Link 1520. Not as good of a name as Meow, not even close. I hate doing this, but I'm going to keep the Farseer. Really want to make sure that I can play at least a turn 3 play. There's a big risk I would have ended up with just nothing to play if I had mulliganed this. So my goal now is just to survive until turn 3 without falling behind, which is difficult because he's going to be putting out 1/1s, and I'm not going to have anything to address them until turn 3. Oh boy. My main hope is that he actually plays real cards and I can kill them with my stuff. Puddle Stomper. Alright, well here's a really ugly choice. Frost Shock doesn't kill it, and Lightning Bolt stops me from playing the Farseer, so we're going to do the Recombobulator, just wasting it. Sucks that, you know, he now can put Divine Shield on this guy and kill my Recombobulator, but I'm already behind. I mean, I did the best I could with the mulligans. Maybe I should have mulliganed this and taken 1 extra chance, knowing I'm up against a Paladin. Thankfully, he doesn't have any Divine Shield dudes. He just plays a Wolf. Okay, that's fine. I could Lightning Bolt it now and then still make a Totem. Oh, okay, that's perfect. Alright, so we're going to Lightning Bolt this. That's not perfect. Perfect would have been a Rock Biter weapon. And I can't play the Dwarf next turn, which is sad, but at least I can play the Farseer. And at least he's used his coin, so there's not going to be a 4-drop right now. So I'm behind, definitely, but it could be worse. Ouch! Not being able to play the Dark Iron Dwarf really hurts here. Would have loved that. Thankfully, my top decks once again saved me. We're gonna play this Gnome and Taunt. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hit him in the face with this Stalker. There's a risk that he plays a Consecration here to kill the Taunt Totem. If this weren't a Taunt Totem, I would have kept this stealth. But if this tank is killing my Totem anyway, might as well do that. Okay, perfect. Don't do anything crazy. It does something crazy. So he's gonna kill my Stalker. At the very least, though, we get to use the Dwarf to trade this Gnome into the tank, and then the True Silver kills the Dwarf. I think he's still ahead. Now, we can make a really technical play here. Let's just see what happens here before we do anything else. I could get him to the +1 health. I was hoping for the +1 health or maybe even the stealth. I can actually Frost Shock him, just go down a card so that the Dwarf survives for another turn, so then I can play Sunwalker and protect the Dwarf. I'm going to do it. I go down a card for this, but the thing is, I'm likely to make that card back by trading the Dwarf into something useful. Sure, he'll use his weapon against the Sunwalker eventually, but the weapon doesn't kill the Sunwalker, so I don't know, maybe I screwed up, but it seemed like it was a good idea at the time. Alright, Nerubian Egg I don't want to kill. I could use Earth Shock if I got any of those. That would be nice. Makes a Recruit, which is smart. It's very annoying here. I have to deal with the Recruit, basically. It'd be very foolish to leave the Recruit alive at this point because it could pop the Divine Shield for free. Alright, I can kill a Recruit with the Stormpike Commando. I can put the dwarf back in my hand and replay him to reach extra damage to the Sunwalker. Let's see what he wants to do. Lord of the Arena. Okay, is this gonna stand? And he does not pop off the Divine Shield. Can't exactly blame him. But it does allow me to do a pretty slick move here. We can... Well, okay, hold on. We have a couple of options here. I can Time Rewinder my dwarf, replay the dwarf. Sunwalker gets boosted to a 6-5 temporarily, killed Lord of the Arena, drops back to a 4-5. This is a 4-4. Other option is I could actually Stormpike Commando the Lord of the Arena and then just pop the Divine Shield like that. Then I have an extra creature on the table compared to if I used the Dark Iron Dwarf for that fashion. So why don't I do that? I get not too badly screwed actually if he has a Consecration, because this Sunwalker would at least still eat his True Silver Champion, and then the dwarf would live. So yeah, we're fine. And I'm gonna, let's see, Totem or Loot Hoarder. I'm gonna play the Loot Hoarder. The reason for that is that if he consecrates and I get a card, I kind of would rather have a card than a 2-1 in my hand. And if he doesn't have a card, I can Time Rewinder my dwarf and do it on the Loot Hoarder. And reach up for some damage. Okay, he's gonna heal himself back up to full, basically. Okay. I think this is the time for the Time Rewinder. The way I'd like to do it is as follows. We're gonna hit him in the face first. And we're gonna rewind the dwarf. Play the dwarf. Kill that. And then think. I could use the Loot Hoarder to pop this egg and then kill the 4-4 with my Sunwalker. The problem is he's had a few turns to do something with this egg and he hasn't. So I'm guessing he doesn't have an answer. He doesn't actually have any way to use that egg. So I'm just going to ignore the egg and hit him in the face. Now if I could have healed this back up to not dead a True Silver Champion, I would have. Okay, so now with the Healing Totem we have an interesting possibility. I could in fact pop the egg, hit it with the Sunwalker, Earthen Ring Farseer, this plus the Healing Totem will heal me back up. Okay, never mind, none of that matters. He played another Lord of the Arena. This guy loves his Lords of the Arena. Okay. Let's draw a card before we do anything else, just to see if I can get some removal for this guy. The answer is I cannot, so that's unfortunate. We'll check again for removal. Reincarnate. Okay. So I could actually reincarnate my Sunwalker to go down a card and basically get back the Divine Shield. I don't think that's worth it though. We'll just do this. Gotta kill that off. And heal that. Minimal effect here. Oh god! Oh my god, I'm dumb. Shit, that was a mistake. I have a Healing Totem. It would have healed it up regardless. I should have played the Paladin Shredder for a bigger body and a better death rattle. Whoops! That was a mistake. So he, I think, has a Consecration here, or else he wouldn't be doing this if he hasn't done it for that many turns. Gonna muster for battle. He's gonna use his... No, he can't use his weapon yet. Because he just attacked this turn. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that turned around in a hurry. Well played. So, this is a problem. He's got Divine Shields. Oh, jeez. That was a fucking hell of a combo. Lord. Okay. Well, we're gonna do what we can, I guess. Nothing I can do about this egg because I don't have any silence. Is it worth attacking into it? I really wish this egg hadn't gotten taunt. Divine Shield or Wind Fury would have been better for that egg, for me anyway. Shoot, I might lose the game now. Alright, I guess we'll kill that. We'll do this. We'll, gosh, don't want to reincarnate. I'm going to actually just reincarnate that Sunwalker. Let's reincarnate it and do my own trick, or Roonies. Play a Shredder, which I really should have had already on the table. That could cost me the game. And one of these guys, I don't think I can afford to make totems right now. I gotta play real things. We'll play this and pass the turn. So this is very scary. Note that the Healing Totem activates first because it was played earlier. Oh boy, he can pretty much wreck me, but I'm gonna be able to burn him out. We'll see. For the next few turns at least, he has to pretty much make sure he always kills everything I play. This comes back. This makes more stuff. Oh, he's going for my face? Oh, that's Wind Fury. Right, okay. So he gets the free damage in. Kills off my Shredder. Please don't be Doomsayer. It's a 3-2, basically. Spectral Knight is good, but it doesn't have taunt, so I don't care about it that much. That's also good, but it also doesn't have taunt. Oh, man. He needed taunt or more removal. So that combo was fantastic, but I just have enough damage to kill him, don't I? 7, 10, 11. Okay, I don't, actually. Now I do. Okay. Whew. Alright. 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 Well played. So, classic Boris saying he thinks his deck is bad, which I swear I do not do on purpose to try to, you know, universe hack my way into winning. I really thought this deck wasn't very good, but here we are at 5-0. Doesn't exactly happen every day, especially if you've been watching this channel, you know that's for sure. But who knows, I could still lose the next 3 games, so whatever. Even if I do lose the next 3 games, I'll be annoyed, because I'm always annoyed to lose, but I'm not going to be too upset. I'm kind of happy with this run. Got to see some pretty cool mechanics, do some cool things, and I didn't really have any expectations for this deck to begin with. Especially because Shaman has been like my crappiest class recently. Okay, Warlock. Flebo, the Warlock, some nice names here. Okay, we have a 2-3-4 curve. But this is a mediocre 3. But I can play things on both turns. This is so good. I'm just going to keep this hand. I have a 1-2-3-4 curve with decently strong minions. I'm just going to keep it. I don't want to... I think the average thing I might get from mulliganing is worse than what I'm guaranteed to get, so I'll just play the law of averages here. I like this new map. It's kind of nifty. I still think the vegetables are my favorite thing. I don't exactly understand what's happening here with all this stuff. Monty Berserker is a good answer to spiders, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna actually take a detour. I could have put taunt on those, made the Berserker get enraged, and then thrown the other 2 spiders at the Berserker to finish him off. But there's a chance he was gonna Mortal Coil one of the spiders, and I would have had to throw the Sunfree Protector in. So it didn't seem worth it. Alright, this is actually, in my opinion, a pretty mediocre card, but it ends up being good here, because it does kill my spider. I guess what I'm going to do is give it taunt to the spiders and then keep him in the way of this Blade Master. Hopefully then he'll damage himself and then I can trade off to kill it. This guy, I could use him. Using him on the low cost minion doesn't really do much for you, I don't think. I can get a 1 mana minion, which is likely to be a little bit better, but remember that whatever you get has Summoning Sickness. Okay, so he's going to get to kill a spider. And taunt is good for him because it prevents my spider from killing off his leper gnome. So that was a pretty good turn of events for him. I will kill that thing off. So the leper gnome gets to kill the spider, or the protector. The Blade Master can kill the Shredder, and I get a minion back, so I'm ahead in that regard, but obviously if he plays any sort of removal, he can get ahead. I've also dealt no damage to him, so he can life tap freely and just keep going ahead cards. My turn 5 looks to be not very good. But turn 6 I can free something. I don't know, I'd say I'm behind here, but it could be close. He has a Dark Bomb, which is a very good card. I get a Stalker, which is actually good because he can't be killed right now. He then gets to kill off my Protector, so my Stalker will actually kill off his Blade Master. Dark Iron Dwarf doesn't help. In fact, it's pretty essential that I save that dwarf to kill his Shade with. Let's play the Stalker and an Illuminator. The Illuminator survives the Shade's attack, and the Stalker is, of course, stealthy. I've got 5 cards to his 4. He can life tap to get back up to 5. I draw my 6th. I can freeze this thing. I can Dark Iron Dwarf to maybe trade into it. Ouch. And he keeps this hidden, I assume? Wouldn't really see much point in attacking with it. He's made the right call there. Alright, Stormforged Axe plus Dark Iron Dwarf will actually let me kill that Spectral Knight. I can instead, however, freeze it and then hit his face to get some more damage on. We're going to go for that. I think that's what you got to do when you have the Frost Elemental, because that's a 5/5. That's pretty large. Okay, so this thing gets pumped, and it can now kill off my Illuminator, but then I can play Stormforged Axe to kill it, and I can do Dark Iron Dwarf on my Frost Elemental to kill the Spectral Knight. So I'm pretty content with that. I have other options as well. I could actually use the Stalker to kill the Shade. Sorry, I can use the Elemental to kill the Shade, and then the Stalker plus Dwarf plus Stormforged Axe kills the Spectral Knight. Anyway, all that goes to hell because he's got a Voidwalker. But I do have a Lightning Bolt, so okay. This is fine, I think. I think we're going to do this. We're going to Lightning Bolt that. Use the Frost Elemental to hit that. The Dark Iron Dwarf and the Stormforged Axe to kill that. So this is actually working really well. I do have 2 Overload next turn, but then again, I've got nothing to do. He's got 4 cards to my 4, so I kind of went down a card there. But I've got 9 damage on the table, and he's got to catch up against this board. 4 power is not insignificant. Alright, so he life taps after playing a minion, which I think is a mistake. We're going to damage this. I'm getting low on health, but I think I've got to do it. Oh, okay, hang on. I could use the Fire Elemental to pop off the Divine Shield and then trade the Elemental into it. Or I could take 4 damage, do that, and then save the Elemental, but I want to play this right now because it's a freaking 6/5. So yeah, we'll do this. Do that. Hit him. And I'm going to hit him again. The reason I want to hit him again is that I'm closer now to maybe killing him, and I want to get the 2 damage through while I can. So this is 10, 12 damage that I'm threatening. Full health, big minions. Recombobulator's not actually very good here. He's going to Shadow Bolt, a classic. Does he have a kill for this? If he actually has a kill for it, he can be okay, because he'd have more cards than I do. But no, he doesn't have a kill. He has a Vengeful Mercenary. I don't want to recombobulate this thing. I also don't want to trade. I'm going to hit him in the face. Wait. 7, 13. Yeah, he's probably not going to be able to kill me, especially because he can't play minions easily. So we're going to hit him in the face. Play a Loot Hoarder and a Totem. I'm going to recombobulate the Totem, actually. Because the Totem is 1 mana. I can get a 1 mana minion. That's pretty good. Get a Light Warden, which is not the greatest. I'm not going to hit him in the face. I don't want to commit to that. I want to save that in case I need it. So his minions are expensive. I doubt he's going to be able to deal 13 damage to me from his hand. In fact, he kills my Fire Elemental, so he's just now trying to hang on for dear life. Floating Watcher doesn't help him because it doesn't have taunt, and that slow doesn't help him because it slow doesn't have taunt. He needed taunt right there. Okay, well played. It's lethal. Oh, it's not. It is lethal damage right on the nose. He was thinking maybe I wouldn't notice it. He, by the way, learned from this guy. He did exactly the right thing. He just played his minions and passed his turn. He tried to bamboozle me with 2 expensive-looking minions. There was a chance I would have missed the fact that I had exact lethal, so good for me for catching lethal for once. And there we are at 6-0. Hilarious. Oh man. Okay, so then there's time for one more game. If I actually win this next game, I'm going to be at 7-0 with a deck I thought was terrible because it doesn't have Hex and it doesn't have Lightning Storm. And I don't like the curve, although it seems like I never like my curve. I'm like self-conscious about my Hearthstone body. I do think my curves are all awful. Anyway, who's it gonna be? A Mage! You know, I was just seriously gonna say, you know, what would be more fitting to end this video with, to really test my mettle, than a Mage. Well, there it is. So, the Anti-Totem is too early. This, I'm gonna mulligan. I'm gonna mulligan aggressively here. I've got the Spider. 1 more 2-drop, and I can play on turn 1 and turn 2, and there it be. So, interesting options here. Let's see what she plays before I make any further judgments. I could play the Puddle Stomper, which will kill more things that she might play. Or I could play the Spider, which is sturdier. I'm going to go for the Spider. And then I could reincarnate the Spider. That would basically be 2 mana, get 2 1/1s. Ah, this again. Well, now, of course, I wish I'd played the Puddle Stomper. Naturally. And again, the same thing's going to happen. I'm going to Lightning Bolt this thing. So if I hadn't done the Spiders, if I'd played this Puddle Stomper, I could have just killed her Berserker. And then played the Spiders, and I would be in better shape now, because I'd have a Lightning Bolt in my hand instead of a Puddle Stomper, which is probably better. Raging Worgen, oh my god. Okay, no rest for the wicked, I guess. We're going to just play this and hit her in the face. She can turn on Wind Fury now by attacking the Spider, but I can then just kill the thing with my Puddle Stomper, I suppose, or possibly use Forked Lightning. We'll see what happens. Paladin Shredder, oh jeez. Jeez. She's actually going to do the trade for me, which works out well, I guess, because otherwise for her, because I could have used the Forked Lightning to kill both of them. Yeah, that's actually a really, really smart play. This is why you want to kill your opponent's things, so that they can't, like, you know, use Forked Lightning to blow you away. Well, let's go ahead and play the Sen'jin and hit her in the face with these Spiders. So now she can use the Shredder to ping off my, and then the ping to ping off my Sen'jin, and she'd then get a free 2-drop and be ahead of card. Looks like that's maybe what happens, unless she plays a Cone of Cold here or something. Master Swordsmith's a pretty bad minion. Good against the spiders, though, so it's a wash. She's gonna Arcane Explosion to clear my whole board, which is solid. Does she actually have something else? She actually does. Alright, that's annoying. So now I have to play Forked Lightning before I fall too far behind. And the annoying thing is that I can't even play Sunwalker next turn, and I don't kill this. Balls. Alright, we're gonna fish for the... Well, let's see. If I fish for this first, I don't get to play the Mana Tide. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little risk. We're gonna just Forked Lightning here, and I'm gonna play the Mana Tide Totem. I'm hoping to get 2 cards out of this baby, and then try to win the fairway. Alright, Earth Shock. That would have been good to have. She'll have to spend some resources killing this, perhaps. She's actually going to use a Dark Iron Dwarf. Motherfucker. Oh, god, that's bad. So she gets to kill this thing, and I don't get to play Sunwalker, and she has a 4/4. That was just, like, pretty much the worst of all possible worlds. Lord. Alright, well, we're going to play Spellbreaker, I guess, so she doesn't get a free secret. Ouch. She can use this guy in a ping to kill off as well. I'm so far behind, it hurts. She's got 6 cards to my 5, and she's got the play. It's bad. She has a Polymorph, I'm sure, ready in hand for the Sunwalker. Oh, it's just bad. She would really have a Frostbolt for this. Man, that Dark Iron Dwarf just slayed me. Just slayed me. Okay, she just does that normal thing. Nothing fancy there, but ouch and ouch. Alright, we're going to Sunwalk it up. Even if I do wacky stuff to get rid of these guys, she can just use the ping plus the tiger to kill that. So nothing I can do. I'll just use my band removal spell to Frost Shock that Swordsmith. Pass the turn. Okay, so we're going to go into the next video, seeing if I can make it up from 6-1 to 7. Unless, of course, this ends so quickly. Oh, wow, that's some very good 6-drop. That we can go again. Goblin Sapper is underwhelming under these circumstances, so when you're losing, play crap. But this is bad. That Dark Iron Dwarf, man. Well, if I'd played the Puddle Stomper first, I could have killed her Berserker and dropped spiders, then she would have played Raging Worgen. But then I would have had a Lightning Bolt to kill the Worgen. Yeah, I could have actually won this game. This was like kind of close until that Dark Iron Dwarf came along, but if I'd been a little bit more ahead, I could have survived it. So, lesson learned. Always play your bigger minion first. The other choice, play the 3/2. Sure, it's not as hardy as the spiders, but if she had killed the Puddle Stomper or the Frostbolt, I would have been in way the hell better shape than I am in now. Yeah, it's interesting how those little decisions early on can make such a huge, huge impact on the game, ultimately. So she takes the time to kill all my stuff, plays a Berserker. And enrages it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, let's play on, I guess. We'll do that. Play this. Totem up. Pass a turn. Normally, you could use a trick. You could reincarnate your opponent's Gurabashi Berserker to reset him, but the Mage can just reping it, so there's really no point. She's playing pretty cautiously, just killing off my stuff. Got a 50-50 shot here, killing my thing, and she could have pinked it to death if needed. Did not need to do that. She gets a Ravenhold Assassin. Lord on a freaking cracker. Alright, well, let's do it like there ain't nothing to it, I guess. We get a random 2-mana minion out of that reincarnate, so it's like a bad temporal portal. Oh, I got that thing. That's great. That'll really save me. It actually can trigger the Gurabashi twice, which is awesome. Do I have any way of saving myself? I don't think I do. I'm just screwed, so she'll let it trigger the Gurabashi. She can hit me for 11 plus 5 is 16 damage. Not quite enough to kill unless she has a Fireball. Alright, she'll just kill off my other guy. Playing it very cautiously here. Very cautiously indeed. I think she could have actually killed me if she pinged off this. No, she would have been a few damage short. And this is like the most cautious play I think I've ever seen from a mage. Alright, to honor her persistence, to honor her diligence, I will just go ahead and play out my cards and let her get the kill. No polymorph. She actually didn't have polymorph or flame strike. Didn't need either one though. We'll go ahead and enrage that berserker to staggering heights. And ping me for good measure for some reason. And well played. Alright, so I've been at 6-1 quite a few times in the last couple months. A few times I've actually... Oh, she gives me a bad-mannered hello. That's shitty. You played really well. It sucks that you turned out to be a douchebag. I failed a couple of times to make it to 7, so, you know, you never know. But even if I lose at 6, this was a pretty sweet run for a mediocre deck. I'm pretty happy with it. Thanks for watching. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody.